Hello, welcome. For those of you watching the replay on YouTube, hello, welcome. Those of you live on TikTok, hi. Hi. Haley, you're back on the talk. Welcome back. How's everyone doing? Ooh. I don't know why right before I went live. Oh, so glad that you're back. Last week, I remember you telling me how to pronounce it, if it was Shay or Shy. And I don't remember which one it was. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. So happy you're here. Honored. Honored to share the space with you. Thank you guys for tapping the screen as you come in. Shay. Okay, perfect. Because I was like, I remember asking, and I remember you telling me, but I'm like, I don't remember which one it was, though. How's everyone feeling? Right before I went live, I got this crazy cough attack, and I was coughing like crazy. I'm not sick or anything. It's very interesting. So please excuse my throat clearing. Yeah, it's been a very interesting week so far. Thank you for the follow, Howie. So as you're coming into the space, tap the screen, say hi, share your intention for the evening. Ooh, what should our emoji be tonight? That's the real question. What should our emoji be? Thank you for the follow, Anita. Thank you for the follow, Chef Daniel. Just see where Spirit wants to take it today. Feeling sovereignty. Clearly. All right, let's do a unicorn tonight. Unicorn's the emoji of the night. Thank you for the follow, Kim. Clearly we're gonna need to clear some stuff in the throat, because literally, you guys, I started tapping into all of you, and I was about to come on live, and it was like, huh? I was like, oh my god, what's happening? Haseki. Thank you. Thank you. I'll take that. Thank you for the gifts. Welcome, Kim. From Chicago. Okay. So if you're new here, please go ahead and drop any kind of intention you have for the evening. And make sure that you open yourself up to receive the energy. So you'll want to give consent. Thank you, darling. You'll either want to type in consent or within yourself kind of just state out loud that you do consent to receive the energy that will be flowing in the space this evening. Hi, Bridget from Seattle. Hello, Bridget from Seattle. Thank you for your consent. Really excited to work with you guys this evening. Ease with grief. Beautiful. Hello from Los Angeles. Hi, Bridget. Amanda E. Honored to have you here, Kim. Cappy Joe. Hi, babes. Hi, boo. JHN. Hello. Celia. Fertility journey. Beautiful, Kaya. Illinois. Welcome. I'm well, except for Virginia. That's where I'm from. What part of Virginia? Yeah, I'm well. Right before hopping on for whatever reason. You guys have some stuff going on in your throat. Because I was fine until I was about to start. Ooh, Pennsylvania. Richmond. So I lived in Centerville for 8 years, and before that I lived in Annandale, so Northern Virginia. I also lived in Arlington for a while. Leonardo. 1 state south of Michigan. Oh, Leonardo, the updates I have for you, my darling. You are going to be floored when I tell you. When I tell you the shit that happened. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I love Richmond. I love Belle Isle out that way as well. Leonardo, like I have, the update is insane. And not cute, good insane, by the way. Like just absolute batshit. Thank you for the follow, Lucinda. Okay, let's go into this throat. Yes. Again, if you are just entering the space, I would also grab some water if you don't have any. I might need to do that as well. I am not in the Midwest. I'm in Texas. There was a while I was seeing someone who was from the Midwest. No longer. Hello, Alberto. There we go. I was like, wow. Minnesota. Beautiful. So the water is to help the energy flow. So as we move the energy, you also might find, I'm going to have to grab some water in a second because this energy is a little intense, y'all. As we move the energy, you might even just find that you're like really thirsty. And as much as it doesn't seem like it, because maybe you're just sitting there and like receiving, your body is actually doing a lot as you're receiving energy work. Like it's literally moving so much in your system, not just energetically, but in your physical body, right? Because our energy embodies every aspect of our being. So there's this aspect in your physical body as well. And so the more hydrated you are, the easier the energy flows. So sometimes if we're like struggling to move energy in a certain spot, or it's like not quite transmuting in the way we desire, it can actually be because like we haven't had enough water, we're dehydrated, things like that can deeply affect. So especially if you have something with like electrolytes, would be great to replenish, but even just water is great. And make sure you consent to receive. You don't have to type it in the comments. You can just kind of say it out loud for yourself. The most important thing is that within you, you're feeling that opening to receive. I'm happy that you're here, boo. No need to apologize what the space is for. Oh, from the last Airbender. Thank you for the follow, R. Carlton. Katara. I love Katara. I love Katara from Avatar. Thank you for the follow, boo. And I do also recommend that you set an intention for the evening. Welcome, Tabby. We love a baby witch. All are welcome here. Receiving energy healing. We're going to be moving. We're starting with the throat. And then I can already feel we're going to be going up into the sinuses next. I swear I had none of this going on before I hopped on here. I promise you. Sparkle modality. Hi, Kate. Sparkle modality is one of our mods. She's going to help facilitate the space this evening. Tabby Ray. Well, maybe that's why I was feeling the sinus come up as you asked. Okay. I'm going to grab water really quick because the energy's a little sticky. So take a moment, if you haven't already set an intention for yourself, just for what you would like to get out of the evening. Hi, Becca. Hi. Our emoji for tonight is a unicorn. So if at any point you're having a profound experience or you're just feeling the energy really shift a lot, or like something big is happening for you, you can just send a bunch of unicorn emojis. You can also, of course, type what's happening, but sometimes it's easier to just send that, and it helps to keep the energy flowing in the space. So tapping the screen, sending the emojis, doing that participation, right? It is an energetic exchange. So it is important that as you're receiving, there also is that give and take aspect, right? Okay. Gabby, so happy you're here. Thank you for the follow, Raven. Okay, I'm gonna grab some water. I will be right back. Firstborn unicorn. Welcome, Raven. So happy you're here. Kizzy, hi. Okay, 1 second. I don't know where my water bottle is, which is quite unusual for me. I don't normally drink out of glasses, but here we are. Okay. Oh, cute. I have my glass candle sitting next to my glass of water, bringing all the elements. Thank you for the follow, Tabby. Yes, Shay. Thank you for the follow, Snow White Red Lipstick. Cute username. There's a lot of not speaking up for ourselves that's happening here in this collective. Not saying what we need, not owning our truth. A truth that might be uncomfortable to others, but is necessary for you. So as we are, thank you for the follow, Caitlin, as we are moving this energy, if you find that you need to clear your throat, or you need to like burp, or you need to move in whatever way, allow your body to do whatever it needs to do. Your body's going to take you where it needs to go. There's a lot happening in this throat chakra here, though. Ooh. Anu ike eto ete ese eto ene ete ese ete e. U eko eto ese ete e. U eko eto ese ete e. U anu aisa araya. There's this fear of judgment and holding back because of it. Not fully showing your true self, the true authenticity of who you be. Unnauta estu arya. Uatu ese anu ata asa arya. Tabby, I understand. Thank you. Thank you for coming out here. That's a beautiful step. You're accepted here. I too am bi. Welcome. Kizzy, welcome. You're in the right place. We got a bunch of bi girlies up in here. It's beautiful. Thank you for being here, Clarity. And I'm proud of both of you. I started with like coming out in online spaces with a bunch of people I didn't know, you know? That's how I first started being open about it. I was like, just in comment sections, I would hide in a random comment section and be like, I'm bi. You know, whatever you gotta do. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of both of you. Literally so proud of you. This throat energy is clearing even just as you're doing this. Ah, Jake! Long time no see. Hi. This is absolutely a safe space. Urauta ota ausa auta ona osa aria. O aino ake ete ese ete. You are welcome here. There you go. Here are multiple moms that accept you. Kaya, I'm a mom. I accept you. Thank you for coming out. And I'm being called to tell you to go at your pace. There's no right or wrong way to go about these things. Thank you for the follow. They just have me in your throat, so any if you need to cough, anything that comes up. Oh, Sarah, I'm sorry. Anything that comes up in that space, just allow. Lord have mercy, all this energy. I'm feeling a lot of injustice. Arnoyeurea. I feel like for some of you, you're thinking of a particular person or a particular situation where for some of you, it's not even like that you're being inauthentic or not speaking up, but it's like this, I guess it's kind of like a mask. It's like the full essence of who you be, and it's just like a slightly reduced version of that. Like it's like a slightly dimmed version, a slightly smaller version, a slightly reduced version of you. Uate esuaria. So, what I'd like to invite you to do here, I'll pull the energy, I'll pull the energy, but is to pull up, and it feels like from your solar plexus. Thank you, Clarity, for the gifts. From your solar plexus to pull up, 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 up. The energy of who you truly be, your light, the essence of your true self. Pulling that up now into your throat, right? So from your solar plexus, that's right down here. I'm just going to pull the energy up, okay? Your only role here is to allow, to receive. You might feel warmth spreading all over your body as this energy is being pulled up. On my end, it almost feels like a hot flash or something. It's like, so that you feel safer to embody more of you. There's that judgment again, the fear of the judgment from a person. Some of you keep coming back to a person and fearing their judgment. Know that the person is just an archetype and a representation. It's not actually about that individual person. They're just a representation of your own judgment for yourself. And they're an external manifestation because that person technically might not even judge you. They might not care, right? But it's your internal judgment that is being mirrored to you through this person, through this being. Hi, Marley. Hi, Marley. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. My candle just went out! Holy fuckamole. Oh my gosh, Ian. I'm so glad. Wow. Allow. Shay, I have a WhatsApp community. So if you shoot me a message, I'll send you the link to join. It's called the Moth Eclipse. I really need to make a Discord for it as well. I'm like Discord illiterate. There's not 100% there. I think we're going to need to go up to the sinuses for a second here. That's where I'm being called to. And then we're going to have to kind of come back. Thank you, Willow. So Tabby, in regards to the judgment, I'd like to invite you to shift the perspective slightly. Thank you, Willow. Thank you for the follow, Jalen. It doesn't need to be fixed. However, can we integrate it? Can we allow it to be and to see it for what it is, right? Which is really just a mask for pain, right? A coping mechanism. It's safety to our wounded selves. We believe that it's safe, safer to sit in judgment. everybody judges. There's nothing wrong with it per se, right? It's human. It's part of the human condition. So they have me right now, by the way, in your right, like, lip, sinus, this whole area. Just FYI. If anyone needs to, like, blow their nose or something, if, like, you could do that, that'd be cool. Oh, I could do it. Allow yourself to be no thing, no one. What's the opposite of judgment? Amazing, Tabby. It's acceptance, right? Acceptance of the shadow, integrating the shadow, allowing ourselves to just be okay with exactly who we are. Exactly, Safia. You know. You know. Yes, Kizzy. And yes, absolutely, Becca. You can get like full body shakes sometimes. Thank you for the follow, Marianne. Ooh, Tabby, yes. Shadow work is everything. Everything. Thank you for the follow, Safia. Thank you, Susan. Happy to have you here, darling. Yes, yes it is. Thank you for the follow, Mickey. So for me in my journey of self-love, you know, for a long time I tried to go from like self-loathing straight to loving myself. It didn't really work. What I found personally was that before I could get to a space of loving these aspects of myself, I first just had to accept them. I first had to be willing to see them and let them have their time and space to be seen as well. Because a lot of times, thank you for the follow, Goose. And is it Libby? Liv? I don't know. IBB? Thank you for the follow, Nates. And so, understanding that these parts of ourselves, usually it's young parts of ourselves, right? Wounded parts of ourselves, that at some point we were told and shown that it wasn't okay. That it wasn't okay to show those parts of ourselves. It wasn't okay to be. Like there were certain parts of us that were okay to be shown and expressed. Look at my hands are shaking with this energy. And certain parts that were not. And so, do you guys see that? And so, if we give ourselves the space, right? It's not about like fixing or changing or undoing or getting rid of it. No. It's about learning to love those aspects of ourselves. But before we can love them, we first have to just see them, acknowledge that they're there, and then find acceptance for them, right? That's step one. And then we kind of dig deeper. We look beneath. Where is this from? Yes, Becca. Thank you for the follow, Britt. And so, as we sit with these shadow parts of ourselves, these parts of ourselves that have been denied and we believed were not okay, that we rejected, As we do that, thank you for the follow, Chip. We then allow them to be okay. And suddenly the hold that they had on us isn't as strong. And then from there, it opens up the space for love. First, we need acceptance. You know? Acceptance before love. Thank you for the follow, Mills. Ano ekwete sete, ano aria. For those of you who are new to this space, that is light language. It's a channeled high vibrational frequency. For some of you, you may feel familiarity when I speak it. You may feel tingles, or you might feel nothing. There's no right or wrong way to experience this. So just trust your body, trust your experience. Oh, I love that. Cats can always feel the energy. Dogs too. All animals really, but Audrey, it's not ASMR, although it can have a similar effect as ASMR. But no, it's energy work. So we're moving the energy in your body. Like Reiki, if you've heard of Reiki. Oh, you're good. It's all good. Happy to have you here. Hi, Brian. You're taking me up to your third eye. Oh, I love that. There's so much that happens in the face. Very happy you're here in this space this evening, Christiana. You're welcome, darling. Hi, Jess. Thank you for the follow. Intuitive readings and healings. Happy to have you here. Thank you for the follow, Becca Ann. Chanel Holly. Dolphins. Thank you, darling. Thank you, Angela. Coral, I'm so glad. Ashley, thank you for the follow. So, essentially, what I'm doing here is tapping in. Granted, it's collective, right? But I'm tapping in and I'm moving the energy. That's so cool. Oh, Marie, that's amazing. Oh my gosh. Do you think someone put the curse on you? Or honestly, that is not my forte if I'm being like, yeah. It depends on so many things, but my telepathy recently has been truly out of this world. Out of this world. Like, to the point that it's been kind of freaking me out. Because it's just really constant these days. And I'm like, even with people I don't really know, it's been really like, it's like, okay, cool. So now I just know what everyone's going to say before they say it all the time. Amazing. Do you guys feel the energy clearing? I feel like the sinuses feel like they're clearing so much. And that throat finally is starting to like ease up. Luckily, it's not scary for me. I'm like so, in tune with my gifts that it's not scary. Again, thank goodness. But I'm still like, it's still blowing me away. I'm like, damn. Like to this extent? Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Learn like energy work, or what are you looking to learn, darling? Oh, hi, little baby. I do energy work on my 4-year-old every night. He's like, Mommy, can you give me energy? Mommy, can you give me energy? Oh, Coral, I'm so glad. So there's a lot of different places you can start. Reiki is always good, receiving Reiki attunements. But also really just my biggest piece of advice is start just doing the work on yourself. So learning to tune into your chakras, learning to move the energy in your own body. Oh, Sarah Beth, thank God. Oh, I was so worried. Relax. Thank you for the follow, DJ. So glad you're here, Sarah Beth. Good to see you, babe. Ah, yes, Jess, that's awesome. Yeah, and really it starts with your own practice. Any spiritual practice, it has to start with yourself. Like it really, at least in my opinion, there's a lot of people that maybe don't practice that way, but like you have to make it your own. You have to know your own energy so potently that like you know exactly how to move energy. And then when you tap into someone else, right? Once you learn to tap into someone else, it's like for me, it really just came very naturally, if I'm being completely honest. So I don't know what the experience is like for everyone. I can't necessarily speak to that, but 100% starting with yourself, like, and your own practice. Like, I remember there was a time when, I love malachite. There's been so much sacral stuff happening really the past like 2 days, so that doesn't surprise me at all, Kaya. But yeah, I remember a time when like tapping into my own energy felt like such a big deal, you know, when I was earlier on in my practice. Amazing, Kristen. You know, I should record a YouTube video about learning to, and I can like do it as a guide thing. So you have to learn to tune into your system and to tune into your chakras, into each of your chakras. But also receiving Reiki attunements, which like you're receiving energy healing right now, right? So this is a really great way for you to start tuning in and feeling the energy in your system, feeling the energy move in your body. 111, right? Because as you receive energy work, it makes it much more tangible. Thank you for the follow, Coral. Thank you for the follow, Kenny. Right? And that's the biggest thing, is that the more practiced you are, the more seasoned you are, like energy doesn't feel like this invisible, untangible thing anymore. It almost feels like matter, like it feels like you can touch it, because it becomes so, you just become so attuned to it, right? You're so attuned to energy all the time that what you feel, like sometimes when I have conversations, like, and I'm talking to my energetic friends especially, I'm like, you get it, like the energy of it is like this, and it's like, I almost have to just describe the energy of things versus, you know, those specific words or whatever it is. It's like you have to trust the energy that you feel, and everyone feels energy. Money energy. Money energy is a relationship. You gotta create that relationship with money. Money has to become your friend, right? And I've given this advice on here before, but it's one of my favorite pieces of advice that helped to shift financial things for me. And it's when you think of the energy of money, when you think about money, maybe it's in the context of your bank account or getting paid, or your debt, or your credit cards, or your taxes, or whatever that is. When you think of money, again, close your eyes and feel into the energy of money. And as you do that, notice where you have to shift your own relationship to it. And so my favorite thing to do is to sing the song, You've Got a Friend in Me. You've got a friend in me, right? Just to help shift your energy around money, because maybe money's heavy. Maybe like you don't feel like you have enough of it, and you feel like money has betrayed you, and you feel like money wasn't there for you when you needed it. And like, I mean, like I've been evicted before. Like I've had all kinds of things happen because I didn't have money. And so I really had to heal the relationship where it's like, you know, I felt betrayed by money. I felt abandoned by money. And so I had to start forming a friendship with money. And using that song was a really, really, really big way that I did that. And it literally shifts the energy like instantly. So that's a great place to start. And honestly, you don't even necessarily need much more than that. But, look at that big, beautiful swan. Thank you, love. Yeah, so it's like just feeling into the energy of it and slowly repairing that relationship. Just like with a human, you can't necessarily repair a broken relationship right away. It takes time to rebuild the trust, to rebuild the relationship. But every time you feel short on money again, and you feel like the fear or the stress or the betrayal of it not being there when you need it coming up, shift it. You've got a friend in me, right? To trust. It goes both ways. So, confidence. Yes. Vamp bug. That is solar plexus energy. So right now we've been working on the throat, the sinuses, your third eye, really the whole face, like your forehead, just this whole kind of area. And it's feeling so much clearer. I hope you guys are feeling clearer on your end. Also, just so you know, it can take up to like a week to fully integrate an energy healing session. And especially if it's a one-on-one session, those bad boys can take a week or sometimes longer to integrate. But even receiving energy like this, the integration of it, it's not just right here and right now. Like for the next week, the things that come up in your life are going to be related to what we moved in the session here today. Yeah, I have, Jess. Thank you, Ian. You're so very welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope you and your cats have a beautiful evening. It was lovely to have you. Oh, I'm so glad. Just got like a huge like warmth, like heat that just radiated from like the center of my chest out. Hi, Gina. We are doing energy work. Yeah, it is ASMR-ish. Coral, not necessarily. You just be calling me. Yeah, it happens. Thank you for the follow, Heidi. I wouldn't necessarily start with a book, Coral, unless you're very visual. Like you could start with YouTube videos, guided meditations more so, because energy is an experience. And yes, you can read about it in a book. And if you were to do a Reiki certification, for instance, yeah, there's going to be things that you're going to read in manuals and stuff. But for the most part, it's an experiential thing, just like you're experiencing it here and now, right? And you're asking the questions because you're like, I feel it. And so it's about learning, right, within yourself, the energy, more so, I would personally say, than necessarily reading a book. Absolutely, two twins. Yeah, my YouTube channel, sorry, I never answered that. It's Ethereal Harmony 777. There is a link to it on my page. I put a link to it on there. So I do repost these also, by the way. 111. I do repost these on YouTube. So the comments obviously don't show up. It's just the video. Bye, Tabby. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Feeling some fear coming up in a few of you. Fear in the sensations, fear in the unknown. Fear in the things that I feel like maybe you were taught or taboo. Maybe even like energy work or spirituality, things like this. Maybe you've been taught that they were like evil or wrong or taboo. Thank you for the follow, Sakiwaki. And I'm feeling this like this part of you that was very conditioned. So I'd just like to invite you now to lean into that uncertainty, whatever it is for you. For all of you, it won't be exactly what I said. It's collective, but the energy of that vibration is definitely there and present. Anoikwete suaniekete. Yeah, and so as I'm feeling into that, there's like this little bit of like fear and anxiety that pops up in the heart space. And it just feels like it's old conditioning that still slightly questions if it's safe to trust. Yes, Katie. Yes. I'm going to only do 3 readings today, but I'll have space for 3. So let's just invite this to shift within ourselves here now. Any resistance or hesitation that we have towards receiving that which is serving our highest good and the highest good of all, for the good of all and harm to none. Receiving energy from the utmost high. It's okay. Yes, readings are paid readings. So it's interesting because, we were working up here so much, and I'm feeling the like last little remnants of anything kind of dripping down from the throat into the heart center to be alchemized in the heart. Releasing the self-judgment. So it's got to go through the higher heart. Some of you may have been having some like pain or some tightness or discomfort in this area. It's your higher heart, in between the throat and the heart chakra. They're flashing me to like different belief systems different belief systems that were instilled within you from different people throughout your lifetime that are not your own. And so, Spirit, with the consent of the collective here, we now return these belief systems that are not our own. We return them to sender with loving intent and healing attached so that they too may transmute this energy in these belief systems. But may they no longer affect the viewer here, our collective, so we may be free of these chains that have kept us small. And in a space of disbelief, not trusting our intuition, not trusting our power, not trusting our innate knowing. Ashu no aru asata. Ashu no aswarata. Anu so ari etu ene ese ete e. Aku ian esu a o aira. Thank you for the follow, Dave. Hi, Nico. Adriana. Hello, darling. So have me in your higher heart. Just drawing this energy down. Oh my God. Ian. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For some of you, they're showing me an ayahuasca retreat for some reason. Yeah, Shay. Some pain in the right arm for some of you. You are safe. Know that as long as you are in this energy, you are protected. By the light of the divine. Thank you for the follow, Lindsay Sue and Beats Davis. I'm just being called to tell you to trust your discernment as it pertains to people who do the type of work that I do in the online space, especially other places as well. And same thing with my energy, you know. Always make sure that it resonates. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the blooming ribbons. But use your discernment. They're really calling me to that it's time. It's time, collective. Listen, hear me when I say this. There has been so much spiritual deception. There is so much spiritual deception on this app and other places as well. Use your discernment. And I'm not excluded from that. Use your discernment when you're in my spaces too. Use your discernment with my energy as well. But it is time, collective, that we stop playing small. It is time. Please hear me when I say this. It is time that we stop blindly following people and whatever the fuck they are regurgitating. And taking anything that someone who is posing themselves or positioning themselves as a spiritual leader or guru or psychic medium, whatever it is, and just blindly following because someone says that they know better than you. I feel like you're yelling at me. This is really fucking important. That's why the energy is coming through that way. But this is really fucking important. I'm seeing too much. And I've seen it firsthand. Like, I've literally seen people die because of this. That's not a metaphorical, like, ego death. I'm talking about human die. Like, this is not to be played around with. And we have to begin to take autonomy. There you go. To take autonomy for our own spiritual journey. Right? And to not blindly take someone else's guidance when we know it's not aligned, but maybe they have 1 million followers on TikTok, and because they have 1 million followers, they must be super intuitive and they must be more tuned in and tapped in than I am, right? They must be. They must have more authority than I fucking do over my own life and my own knowing. Enough, collective. Enough. It is time that you take ownership. Yes, that you take ownership of your spiritual journey, of the work. Take ownership of your knowing. It is time to stop blindly following people outside of ourselves and trusting that they somehow fucking know better than you. No. No. We have to learn to tune into our own knowing. And even then, sometimes we're going to make, wrong choices. Everything is a reflection. There's no wrong choice, but it's a reflection maybe of something we didn't want to see. Ownership of our sovereignty, of our power, of our own inner knowing, of our spiritual journey and our spiritual paths. That's what we're taking ownership of. Not outsourcing, right? Not, oh, I believed this because the tarot lady kept saying it on TikTok, and it's the tarot lady on TikTok's fault. But what did you know? What is the truth that you knew within you? Were you tapping into your truth? Were you discerning? Or were you feeding an addiction? Sometimes we just have to get really fucking honest with ourselves. That sometimes we're just feeding our own wounding and our own trauma and our own fucked up patterns, myself included. Okay? Well, Avian, you can leave the space. No one asked you to be here, babes. That's some outlandish shit. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you, Trevor. As do I, Liz. Because we're in alignment, Liz. Coral, I'm so glad. Sarah's like, I got yelled at by 2 moms today. The fuck? At least I didn't actually yell. Thank you for the follow, Lulu. But truly, it's just, I'm just seeing too much of it. Love you, Ian. Have a great night. I'm just seeing too much of it, and I just don't want that for you guys. I have to move the puzzle piece one moment. Done. I have not been to Portugal. Yeah, guys, I've seen, and I've done it too. I've done it too, where I thought that because someone had more, they looked like more of an authority online than I did, right? This was especially when I didn't have much of a following. I didn't have much in the online space. I'm like, oh, well, you know, these people have hundreds of thousands, millions of followers. They must know better than me, right? They must be better at this than I am. And that must be why they have more followers than I do. And therefore, they must know better than I do. But listen, I've been personally involved, both romantically and otherwise, with large creators on this app. Beautiful. And allowed myself to be just drawn into the most wackadoodle shit, you guys. And right, it's a mirror of my own wounding, but I was giving away my authority. I was giving away my power and my knowing, and I fucking knew, right? But I was giving it away because I'm like, well, but, and you know, these are people that at least theoretically are well-intentioned, right? Not even all are well-intentioned, so there's that too. But we just have to learn to discern and to know that our own inner authority, our own sovereignty. I told you guys at the very beginning fucking sovereignty was going to come up, and here it is. Learning to be sovereign beings and not trusting what someone else is saying over our own knowing. And yes, we all have blind spots. We are unconscious beings. There will be things that we don't know. Thank you for the follow, chill vibes. But truly, sometimes you don't even know the people that you're following are like deep in spiritual psychosis. Meanwhile, they're giving readings. They're deep in spiritual psychosis. Meanwhile, they're doing energy work. Like, exactly, Ashley. how do you know? So it takes time to refine. Yes, it takes time to refine the discernment, but really what it comes down to, yes, Trevor, what it comes down to is learning to tune into our energy, learning to tune into our body. How is our body responding to this person, place, or thing? Like, sometimes you'll be getting physical symptoms every time you're in someone's energy and you just explain it away. But like your body's literally telling you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Barbie. Happy you're here. Welcome. Absolutely, Jess. That's the thing. We have to go through the lessons to learn. And as much as it can feel like betrayal and it can feel really terrible, Slick the lyricist, thanks for the follow. We do have to go through experiences. And so that's okay too. Oh my gosh, exactly, Sam. That is like a perfect example. Or like a lot of times for women, like hormonal imbalances, your cycle will get messed up. Like your scent, your pH will get thrown off with partners that are not aligned. And it's just like, yes, Lisa. And the thing is also like, if you grew up, yes, discomfort is growth. If you grew up in a trauma-based household, right? The scent is always like first. Something's off. Yes, sparkle modality. Like it's a real thing. I've had, yeah. Sonia, so happy you're here. Yeah, I have PCOS, and when I'm with the wrong partner, it gets activated. Yeah, and it can literally, it's even just an energetic tie is the thing. You don't even have to physically be with the partner. That's how strong the energy is. We're such deeply energetic beings, and especially, again, for those with womb spaces, those who menstruate and bleed, like that's going to be one of the early signs. It's going to be off. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yep. So, biggest thing for energy vampires. Yes, absolutely. Biggest thing for energy vampires. My biggest clue always, how do I feel after I get off the phone with them, after a text interaction, after spending time with them? Do you feel drained? That's like the biggest indicator. After spending time with someone, you should feel energized. If you feel drained, oh my gosh, Sonia, I'm very sorry, because that's a lot to process. That's really big. That's a really big transition. So it depends with anxiety, because if you have an anxious attachment in separation from someone, you can feel anxious, but it depends. It depends on the anxiety front, but that absolutely could be. And you just have to learn your body's signals. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's body's going to show things differently, right? Oh my gosh, that's crazy, Sonia. Yeah, so anxious attachment is when you're not talking to someone, you feel anxious. And the thing to keep in mind, so there's a lot of nuance to this. There's a lot of nuance to this. However, with anxious attachment, one thing I just want you to think about is our energetic fields, right? So in our energetic fields, we have different things that can be lit up. Different things that can be lit up. And so when we come across someone who has maybe more of an avoidant attachment, or it could be someone with secure attachment, it depends on the degree of your anxious attachment, but it's going to get activated in your auric field because it exists already in your auric field, right? And so if it didn't exist in your auric field, it wouldn't be able to be activated. I'll say that. Now, is this necessarily that person is doing something wrong? I'm Lexapro. Oh, absolutely. Narcissists are energy vampires. The thing is, most energy vampires aren't consciously doing it. They don't typically they don't know. Right? So for anxious attachment, for you in distance, you feel the fear and anxiety because you don't trust that if that person isn't in constant contact with you, that they're not going to leave you, they're not going to abandon you, they're not going to... You don't trust that they'll continue to love you. Yeah, Sonia, that can absolutely happen. And for avoidance, so if you have more of an avoidant attachment, or if you have disorganized, you can go either way. If you have avoidant attachment, it's the exact opposite. When you're close to someone, you feel the anxiety. When you're distant, you feel safe. Whereas with an anxious, when you're together, you're like, safety. So, that's beautiful, Becca. Ooh, do you have a Kundalini yoga practice? Do you have a daily practice that you're doing to help? You have to learn to cultivate the energy of a Kundalini. A daily practice is essential. Bella, it means that there's something coming up to be transmuted. So I highly recommend you breathe into that sensation and allow it to open and release, okay? Don't hold it. Don't try to control it. That's the biggest thing. Be jazzy. What if you've made peace with it and have chosen to let go, but still feel the anxiety? Your mind may have chosen to let go, but your heart has not. Okay, darling. Your mind, we can choose to let go all we want. We can say, I'm letting go. Have we actually let go? Have we grieved? Have we allowed ourselves the space to fully, in order to let go, you have to realize what you're really letting go of is not really even the person. The part of you that was with that person has to die, right? Energetically has to die. We can't let go of them, let go of an energy and still be who we were. We have to step into a new identity. And in that version of us, we're no longer attached to this energy. And so there's so much that's tied into this version of us that found maybe home in this person, that found love in this person, that found fulfillment in this person, this connection. It provided all of these things to us. And so there's a lot of attachment to that. We don't want to let that go. Even if the mind is like, I'm letting it go. Trust me, I had a connection where I was like, I'm letting it go. Like a million times over. Letting it go. Letting it go. We can't force ourselves to let go. We have to allow ourselves to go through the full cycle, the full process that needs to happen. Right? It's there and coming up for a reason. It's activating something within us so that we can choose to first, it's never about the person, right? It's coming up within us so that we can have the time there's like this part of you, this small, it's usually a young part of you that's like begging for some fucking attention, that is begging to be seen, that is begging. That's the part of you that's anxious. That's the part of you that's attached. That's the part of you that's scared. That's the part of you that doesn't want to let go, because as a child, if you would have let go of that, that's death. That's literal death. And so the experience within you now is, I will die if I let this person go. So of course it's not as simple as our conscious mind being like, I'm letting go. Done. No. We have to allow this young part of ourselves to be seen, to be heard, to be alchemized, and transmute the energy in our field so that we don't continue to attract these things into our lives, so that it doesn't keep being activated over and over again. But here's something I just really, really, really want to reiterate is we have to allow ourselves to go through the full cycle. We want to rush through the discomfort so quickly. We want to get through the uncomfortable part. And we think, oh, well, if I let go, then I won't be uncomfortable anymore. And so I'm going to let go. I'm letting go. But you haven't done the work. The work that needed to be done wasn't done. So it's going to keep coming up until you do the hard work, until you spend the time with these aspects of yourself and you transmute these aspects of yourself. Because it's never about the other person. It's about you. It's about loving you. It's always about loving you. Because all of that love that you feel for them is the love that lives inside of you already. Just like they can activate the anxiety in your field, they can activate the love, but it's still the love in your field, just like the anxiety is the anxiety in your field. If it didn't exist in your field, it couldn't be activated. And so the thing that sucks with this, listen, like, I get wanting to be done with it. I get wanting to be out of the uncomfortable part and moving on to the next thing, on to the next chapter. Let's go. However, we don't get to skip the work. We don't get to skip the work. And as much as I hate to say it, this shit can take years. Sometimes you have to go through a cycle with someone for years until you get to the place where you are done. And when you're done, you're fucking done. Like, you've experienced that. I know that you've experienced that. When you're done, you're done. And it's not hard. It's not hard to let go, now is it? When you're actually done. The reason it's hard to let go is because you're not done. There's more work to be done. If you were done, you'd feel done. Right? And that's not about, like, in the context of a relationship, that's not about, like, it's not done in the sense of, like, oh, we're meant to be together. It's, we're not done in the sense that whatever that connection, that person was activating in me, I've still got work to do on it. I've still got some healing to do. And like, let's just normalize. Healing isn't about taking 3 months, taking 30 days, taking 6 months to, like, go to the gym and drink water and take ourselves out on coffee dates. Like, that's not it. It's literally allowing yourself to grieve for the child in you that didn't receive the love that they needed, to grieve for the adult in you that continued to perpetuate the patterns from the child you and continued to be rejected and continued to not receive the love that you deserved. To grieve these aspects of ourselves, to give these parts of ourselves love, to grieve with the energies as well. Good night, darling, right? But we have to give ourselves time. And it can take a long time. It doesn't have to, but it can. And so just being there for that process, and however long it's going to take, that's the key. Let it take 3 years. Let it take 5 years if it has to. Like, where are you trying to get to anyway? This is what we're here to do. Sam. But this is what we're here to do. This is the human experience. Like, this is it. This is it. Sometimes that means sitting in the shit. And it's not fun. Yeah. For me, a lot of cycles tend to be 3 years. That's a pattern that I've noticed for myself. A lot of cycles are 3 years for me. When I'm moving through like a really dense karmic cycle. But that's where people will be like, oh, don't go back to your ex. But if you're sitting there and you're pining and you're yearning, like, I'm of the opinion, do it as many times as you have to until you're done. Because otherwise your next partner is just going to be the same person in a different body. It's just going to be the same energy in a different body. Do it as many times as you have to until you get to the space of being done. Because again, when you're done, you're done. And I know you've experienced it. It's not hard to let go when you're actually done. When the lesson is learned, the teacher dies. The teacher is the attachment. And when the lesson is learned, when you have fully completed the cycle within you, the healing within you, once that is done, the teacher, which is the attachment, that container that you were in, dies. And then it's easy as fuck to let go because there's no more attachment there. It's done. But deluding ourselves into pretending that like we're done or over something when we're not, it's really just more bullshit. Unfortunately, like, we have to just be here for the process, whatever it looks like, as messy as it is. And sometimes it's painful. Usually it's real painful and real terrible and awful. And you have to get to the point where you're done, where you're like, I'm not doing this anymore. And you choose differently. But you got to get to that point. You can't force yourself. You can't pretend. You can't pretend your way into, I'm not attached. I'm letting go. Our conscious mind controls nothing. Like, let's remember that. Our conscious mind, she's so cute. Our conscious mind is so cute, but like literally controls nothing. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate, right? It's the basis of shadow work. Carl Jung. Am I okay? Oh, I'm okay. Oh my God. This is just how spirit is coming through. Have a great night, Raven. You're welcome. Again, love isn't always just soft and tender. But at the core of it, it is, you know? We can feel the energetic difference. It's not like I'm sitting here like just being an asshole for no reason, right? You're so pretty, little conscious mind. I'm so glad you did, Jazzy. Thank you. Thank you for asking the question that you did, because that's what allowed the channel to come through. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even talked about it. So, and I felt really called to scroll back and to answer it for you. And thank you for sharing. Yeah. And oftentimes when it channels through, it's integrating it for me too, you know? I'm so glad, Lisa. Thank you for the follow, Skeeta. Everyone, make sure you're drinking your water. Make sure you're breathing. Oh, I'm so glad, Ashley. I'm so glad. And really, everything we were just talking about even is related to a lot of the spiritual psychosis that happens and a lot of the outsourcing of our power and our sovereignty, right? Because when we're making it about someone else versus about our own work, we're giving our power away. We're giving our sovereignty over to them. So it all comes full circle. And you know what? Like, I trust you. You've got this. Whether it's a process of letting go, whether it's a process of getting over someone, whether it's a process of healing shit in you, like, you've got it. You can do it. Hi, Dylan. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. You wouldn't be here in this space if that wasn't true. You can do it. No matter how much the energy tries to pull you back, no matter how much the trauma patterns and the pain body and all of it tries to suck you back in, you can do hard things. Ruby. Yeah. Yeah. It's confronting. It's very confronting. We do, Jess. We grow through what we go through. If we choose to grow through it. You know, you can also like go through stuff and then just kind of sweep it on under the rug and keep doing the same dumb shit. Which, again, if that's what you need to do, keep doing it until you get to the point where you're done. And it might take you a lot to get there, or it might not. Different situations are different. Also, depending upon how deep what it is that's bringing up in you, and if it's bringing up something that's like very deeply layered, it can take years to get through the layers, right? Like, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you feel better after being here. Like, this isn't small stuff that we're working through. It's like a lifetime, and oftentimes previous lifetimes worth of pain and wounding and trauma. Who's got a migraine? And listen, it's not pretty. It's not pretty work. Enjoy your shower, Ashley. You deserve it. Nothing like a day with the kids and you take a shower. It's like, oh, amazing. Yeah, I feel it, y'all. Thank you for the follow, Ashley. I like how Susan's like, are you okay today? I love you. Thank you for always being the mama bear caretaker energy in here, Susan. Okay, that headache energy is already feeling a lot lighter. Please make sure, especially for those of you that already have a headache, please, please, please get some electrolytes, whether that's like an electrolyte powder that you add to water or like a coconut water, something. You could even just add some pink salt. If you have pink salt, add that to your water. Some lemon water with the pink salt is great. Whatever you need to. Susan. Girl. I'm glad, Leonardo. Oh my God, a cold coconut water is like, I used to do Bikram yoga, and anytime I had a cold coconut water, it just really hit. Susan, yeah, Susan's real mean. Oh, that's amazing, Sonia. They have a chocolate one, which is kind of weird. The Zico has a chocolate coconut water, or they have pineapple ones. Yeah, and you just said with fresh pineapple. Yep, with pineapple, it's so good. It's so good. It's so refreshing. And Sarah, was it Sarah that asked about the sacral? Oh, hi, Jess's dog. Welcome. Thank you for the follow, Candy. The energy is going to go wherever it needs to go, right? Regardless of, oh my gosh, yes, Susan, amazing. Add some pink salt to that. Oh, that sounds so yummy. Oh my God, you guys, now I have to buy some coconut water. Like, I literally might need to drive to a gas station after this if they're still open. Get some coconut water. Thank you for the follow, Jazzy. Sarah, okay, so yeah, the energy is going to go wherever you need it to, right? So that's part of when you consent, regardless of where I'm working on, the energy is literally going to go where it needs to go in your body. Thank you for the follow. Oh my God, you got a case today? I'm so jealous. So jealous. Hello, welcome. Thank you for the follow, Thomas. Yes, Ruby is such a sweet soul as well. We just have the best people in these spaces, each and every one of you. I love you guys. I'm always so honored to be here with you. It's such a blessing. Such a gift, each and every one of you. Such a fucking gift. Thank you, darling. Thank you for the follow, Chrissy. And Chris. Thank you, Lindsay Sue. Honored to have you here. Thank you for the follow, Vanessa. My pleasure, Sarah. Okay. I love that, Jess. Sure, Riley. Is that your personal year? Are you in an 8 year this year? Riley Grace? Thank you for the follow, Andrea. Okay. So Riley, 8 energy is all about, it's a really material energy, right? So it is about you as well, Sonia. Thank you for being here. So good to meet you. Thank you. So 8 is about material wealth and success. So in a year 8, you really want to focus in on your goals. You really want to focus in on your career. So we all have life path numbers, right? Your life path number. I'm so glad. Thank you for being here. Your life path number, you calculate by adding your birth month, day, and year, but adding them as like single digits. Hi. Good to see you, babe. Good to see you, Ashley. Good night, Marley. Love you. I'll see you next Monday for the light language seminar. You're number 11. Okay, so the way that you find out your personal year, so we have our life path number, that's for overall life path, right? And for each year, we also have a year's energy for a number as well. So you would do it just like you calculate your life path number, except instead of your birth year, you use 2025, which is a 9, because we're in a universal year 9 this year. So you add, for instance, my birthday is 9/7, so I would add 9 plus 7 plus 9. I'm in a personal year 7 this year. I already know that. So that's how you calculate your year number, the energy that you're in for the year. And you can also do this for your home. Oh, Ruby, a year 6, personal year 6 is all about relationships. That was my year last year. It's about like a harmonious home and family life and bringing energy and balance to your family life and to your home and to your relationships. It's a great year. Your personal year 6 is a great year to get into a long-term relationship. Okay. So 11/15, you would add 1 plus 1, so 2, right? And then you're adding 1 plus 5, right? So 6. And then you add the 2 to the 6, so we have 8. So you add them as single digits versus as like whole numbers. Thank you for being here. Yeah, 6 is a year to no, so if you are a life path 11, if you're a life path 11, yes. But if we're trying to find your personal year and you're born on November 15th, so 1115, you would add each of those single numbers together. You'd add 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 5, right? So there probably is, yeah. Thank you for the follow, Silence. You as well. Thank you for being here. So you take that number and then you add the number 9 because we're in a universal year 9 this year, right? For 2025, 2025. It's a 9. So for 1225, you would add 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 5. And then you take that number and you add it to the number 9 until it reduces down to a single digit. 19 would reduce to, you would make it 10, which is a 1. I'm so glad you're here, Emo. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Adriana, that's correct. So, we have so many personal year 6s. So like I said, personal year 6 is a great year for your home life, your family, partnerships, relationships. It's a great year to get into a long-term committed relationship. When it's a year 1, you're at a new beginning because likely the year prior, you just had a really tough year of a lot of endings, right? So if you're in a personal year 1 this year, congratulations, because last year you probably closed out a whole bunch of stuff. You probably had to walk away from a lot of things. You probably had a lot of endings back to back to back to back, just nonstop endings all year. So you're in the 1 this year. It's a brand new cycle, a brand new beginning for you. So then 18, you would add the 1 to the 8, so you're at a 9. So personal year 9s are challenging, okay? Like, they're challenging. So 15 would reduce down to a 6. 2 is also about, oftentimes, it's another great year to get into a committed relationship, right? Because it's about union, really. And so year 2 and year 6 are the best years for partnerships, for getting married, for getting into a long-term relationship, things like that. Year 7, that's what I'm in. Year 7 is kind of like your hermit year. It's a year for spiritual advancement, spiritual expansion. And so you're going to be called probably not to socialize as much, not to go out as much, maybe to get establish a really great meditation practice, a really great journaling practice. Like, you're going to be really called to go within in a year 7. So a lot of people write books in year 7s. You can like create a business in year 7, and then in your year 8 you kind of bring it into the material world. You ground it into reality and bring the money in a year 8. So yeah, 5 is all about adventure. 5 is your year to shake it up. 5 is your year to diversify. It's your year to travel. It's your year to do things differently. It's your year to break the mold. So for me, in my year 5 was the year that I like decided to get divorced, and I started, like dating people, and I started exploring my, so that was my year 5. Now, that for me included a ton of endings, but year 5 it's a shake-up year. You're doing everything differently than you normally do. That's what a personal year 5 is. Personal year 3 is about, there you are, yeah. Personal year 3, I got you. Personal year 3 is about refining communication. It's about community. It's about creating new systems, like not necessarily just in your family. It's not as family focused, but it's more so focused on community. What does that look like for you? How does community play into your life? Where do friendships play into your life? Like, where does socializing, it's finding a balance in like social life and serving the greater good, the community, versus like serving the self, and finding sort of a balance in that. Yeah, Ruby, 5, right? 5 is in the energy of change. And so the 5 year, again, it's a switch up year. Like, things maybe that you've been trying to do. And this also comes full circle to what we were talking about earlier about like letting go and stuff, right? In a year 9 or a year 5, you're going to feel more inclined to end things and let go of things. Versus in like a year 6, you're in that energy of like bringing things together and rebuilding and growing. It's a very different energy than a year 5 or a year 9, because those years are about shaking it up and changing. It's about radical shifts. Year 9s especially, though, that's the year of endings. Year 9s typically they can be rough, depending. Absolutely, Ruby. 5 it can be tower card-esque, right? It's a lot, but you do with that energy what you choose, right? 8 is about grounding material wealth and success. So in an 8 year, it's a great year to focus on your career. It's a great year to focus on like coming up with a plan of how you're going to get yourself out of debt and where you're going to make extra money and like what kind of businesses you actually want to launch. So maybe in a year 7, you're like hermiting and you're thinking about what you want to do. You're like writing out your plan for your business. In year 8 is when you're taking the action on your business. It's when you're grounding the spiritual work you did in your year 7 into the reality, into the human 3D realm, right? It's the year to like step forward and take the bold action to move the dreams of the year 7 forward, essentially. So, yeah. Yes, because year 1 is about your new beginnings. And we have quite a few people in here who are in their personal year 1s. If you're in a personal year 1, it's fresh energy. And regardless of what's happening astrologically, you probably feel this like renewed sense of like, something just feels different. Like I'm in a new cycle because you literally just closed out this entire 9-year cycle, right? So a 4. Ooh. It's not related to age. Sorry, cat lady. Is anyone able to, cat lady, drop your birth day? We don't need the year, just the month and the day. So what you would do, you add 1 plus 2 plus 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3. And then to that, you're going to add the number 9 and reduce it down until it gets to a single digit. There you go. Just did it for you. Year 6. Year 6 is all about happy home and partnership. So if you think about it like this, guys, think about astrology. Think about the houses in astrology. Because the reason that the numbered houses in astrology carry a certain energy is because those numbers carry a specific energy. Right? 527. So add 5 plus 2, which is 7. 7 plus 7, which is 14. Reduce the 1 plus 4, which is 5. So you're in a personal year 5. Again, personal year 5 is about change. It's about shaking it up. It's the year to travel, to explore, to do things differently than you've been doing. That's, for me, the year that I got divorced. And it was like 3 years of buildup before that. But that's the year that it was like doing it, and actually took the steps to move that forward. So yes, 2025 is the number 9. We're in a universal year 9. So keep that in mind, because there's your personal year, but the universal year is also going to play into that. We are in a universal year 9, so you're still going to experience endings. Okay? February 5th, so 2 plus 5, 7. You're in a year 7. So 4. One second. Jasmine. What, at the math? Don't worry, it used to confuse the ever-living fuck out of me. And it's hard to not have the visual of it. Like if I was writing it, you guys would be like, oh, but without like a visual, it's, at least for me, it's hard. Math is not my strong suit either. The math ain't mathin'. Good night, Susan. Yeah, we're going to move on to doing readings here in a moment. Oh yeah, Jazzy, 100%. And like, that's one of those things. It's exactly what I was talking about in terms of like letting go and like, when you're done, right? Because it took years of like having those conversations with my former partner. It took years of like being like, oh, this isn't working. And like my soul knew, but I wasn't there yet. I hadn't done everything I needed to do. I hadn't stepped into who I needed to be, the version of me that's able to actually walk away from it, right? So it takes time. So 4 is it's the mother archetype, right? But 4 is often a very creative year. It's a year of, I don't know, I want to say like creative pursuits. So it's a very internally focused year, but not like the 7, because the 7 is about like spiritual advancement. It's about spiritual awakening. It's about like really going inwards. The 4 is more so explorative, but in a very creative way, if that makes sense. What if one person in the marriage wants to divorce because they have found someone else? That's what happened to your mom. I mean, it happens. Yeah, Jazzy, I feel you. Isn't it funny though? Like, and maybe this wasn't your experience, but for me, like it took me so long to get there with my ex-husband. But like once I was done, I was done. But the connections that I've had after marriage have been so much harder to let go of, because it's like they were done more quickly. So it's like there wasn't really the time that you have in like a marriage per se, where it's like you have a lot of time to heal and to process and to work through the stuff while you're still in it. And then when you're done, you're just done. Whereas in more casual connections, all the shit gets brought up, but the commitment level isn't there to be like, oh, we can stay in this while I work through what's coming up. But this person isn't fucking committed to you. They don't give a fuck. So they're gone. And you're like, oh my God, now I have to do all this work and the person isn't here. Whereas in a marriage, it's almost a safer container to do it, right? Like it's this container where we can grow into who we need to become in order to leave the marriage. And ultimately, we're doing the same thing as it pertains to letting go of the connections after the marriage. It's just that it looks different. It's done way more isolation, and without whatever love you were receiving from the partner is not there. So there's like another layer there. So, yeah. Yeah, Jess, totally. No, so, okay, so for you, darling, for 11-1, we do 1 + 1, which is 2 + 1, 3. So your 3, you would add that to 2025. So every year it changes by 1 digit. So next year, 2026, we're in a universal year 1. That means we're in a universal energy of new beginnings. How dope is that? Whereas this year, we're in a year 9. 2025 equals 9 when you do the single digits. And so, right, you're adding the 3 to the 9 and reducing it to get your year number. But a universal year 9, there's always going to be endings. A year 4. I don't know. I would need to know your birthday. I don't need the year, but just the. Yeah. And that's the thing. Even though we do a lot of that healing still in the marriage container, once it's over, there still is like a whole other level of healing that we have to do. Like there's a lot to process. I know for me, I got married when I was 19. My entire adult life, I had been married to this person. And then all of a sudden, I'm in my early 30s, a mom to 2 young kids, and living on my own. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I really wanted that. I wanted that. It was my choice. But that doesn't mean it didn't bring up a whole lot of fucking shit. And then you're like exploring connections too. And then it's like, oh my God, this is bringing up even more stuff. It's a lot. It's a lot. And so it's like, we have to give ourselves time. This is what I'm saying about like, in our society, we act as if everyone should just move on really quickly and like let go really quickly and be done. But like these energies that we're sifting through and moving through are so much bigger than that. Like it can take years. Ooh, exactly. The 6-month one hurt worse, didn't it? Because it didn't have the time. It didn't have the time. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. And then you add more to it because it's like you were probably also still processing that 15-year relationship. Like you weren't fully done processing and healing from that. And then you get into a new connection. And again, the commitment level isn't there. And when you're coming out of a marriage, at least for me, you don't quite understand that like people aren't necessarily all that great. Like not everyone is like operates the way that you get used to operating when you're married, right? Where there's like that mutual understanding and there's commitment at the very least. Meanwhile, in the single world, it's like getting commitment is like the biggest thing ever. It's very interesting to me. Katie, are you still here, darling? Yeah, those like, and it's the relationships that like never fully get off the ground or like never fully, it's like when you don't get the chance to live it out, it feels so much more challenging to let it go. Thank you for the follow, Random Moon. Because we have to learn to process the energy in a different way versus doing it through the full experience. And that's why I'm saying, though, if you have to keep repeating the cycle, keep repeating the cycle. You will get to the place and the point that you're done. It might take longer than you want it to. That's the part that really sucks. Oh, I bet. Trust me. My post-marital lore is fucking wild. It's 11:11. My stomach's growling. Okay. Water. Everyone drink your water. Yeah. Yep. It's going to be a lot of endings. So it means also that not only will there be endings in your personal life, there's going to be a lot of endings outside of ourselves too, right? Like it affects society and all of that too. Yeah, Jazzy, totally. Right? When I came out of my marriage, I was like, I do not want a relationship. Like, I'm good. I just want to explore. But then shit gets so messy so quickly. Ruby, it's so interesting because for me, dating women is so much easier than dating men. Like dating men brings up my attachment wounding and like it's so intense and challenging for me. Dating women, I'm literally so secure and so neutral. Like it's easy. So for me, the two energies are so very different. And I had a really interesting download about that a few months ago where I was like, oh, essentially I have a secure attachment with women because my mom, for all her faults, was always there. I was never scared that she wouldn't be there. I wasn't scared of like losing her or losing her love because she was at the very least always there. She always showed up. On the other hand, my father was not there and I desired his love, right? Like I wanted my dad's love. And I thought if I proved myself, if I was just a little bit better, if I was a little bit more this or a little bit less that, if I was more perfect, if I could just somehow prove that I was worth staying for, maybe my dad would stay. So that pattern comes up in men with me where I get this like craving of like, oh my God, I have to prove that I'm worthy of receiving this love. Whereas with women, I'm not afraid to lose a woman. I'm not afraid in a romantic connection to it's just completely different. I'm so neutral. And it's really cool to be able to compare the two and compare the experience of the two for me as well. And being able to understand when that wounded pattern is being activated within me. And like, so because of that, it's just, yeah, I'm so grateful that I date multiple genders, because like, I don't know if I would have been able to make that connection otherwise for myself. Like, I'm so secure when I date women. Like, I love them deeply, but I have no attachment. Like, I'm just secure. I'm sad when it's over for sure. And you grieve, but it's not like with men where it literally feels like I'm dying. And that just goes to show the power of trauma. The power of our wounds, right? Because what the men are doing in this case and what the women are doing aren't necessarily like, what this one woman did was like the most fucked up thing anyone has ever done to me. Like, I got the very worst treatment ever from a woman. And even so, the very worst treatment ever from a woman. And even so, yeah, you're happy with your cats. I get that. The only thing is, and this is something I have to contend with myself, is like, you get really comfortable with being alone, and then there's a lot of work that's not being done. Work that only gets done in connection, like activating those wounds that I'm talking about with the men that I experience. And other things get activated with women for me, so it's like those that has its purpose. I get that, Tippy. I get it. And it is overhyped in today's media and society, being alone, and this concept of like, I'm good on my own. It's very overhyped. We're meant to be in community and connection with people, whether that's romantic relationships or not. We're meant to give and share love. Interesting, cat lady. Yes. Ruby, yeah. Because in relationship with a woman, you'll work through a mother wound. And, you know, I think of like that Gabor Mate, or whatever his name is, quote where he's like, which one of your parents did you desire love from the most? Like, that's the archetype of who you'll marry. If you desired your father's love the most, you will marry someone who has an energetic signature that is similar to your father. If you desired the love from your mother the most, you will marry someone who has an energetic signature that is similar to your mother. And we do that so that we can bring those wounds up in a safe space, right? Because in a marriage, it's a safer container, right? At the very least, feels like a safer container. With the commitment that's been established, it's a safer container to do that healing work. Random moon, it is. It absolutely is. However, oftentimes, once you've actually finished the healing, and both people have, the attachment oftentimes fades, and sometimes the attraction fades. Sometimes what you're attracted to completely changes as you heal your attachment wounding, which is really wild. Yes. So Jazzy, the thing that's also really beautiful is that, like, as you let in new connections, the grieving of the old one will come up, right? Because as you connect with someone who's like maybe saying, you know, I could see myself being with you, that's going to activate any unprocessed feeling that you still have about the old connection. that you're still, again, working through whatever last little remnants of that energy is still in your field, it'll come up and you'll get to process it and you'll get to feel it. And you can work through, like if you're with a really safe and secure partner, you can work through some of the trauma and wounding and things from like previous connections. If you're with someone who's secure, like you're not really worried about that, if that makes sense. Interesting, Tippy. Yeah. I understand that, Tippy. I never wanted anyone to feel any pain when I was young, especially. So I would always want to take it on myself. Like if something bad would happen to my brother, I'd be like, oh, I wish it was me instead of him so I could just feel the pain and he wouldn't have to feel it. But the thing that's interesting is that we actually do people a disservice by taking their pain away, right? Pain is a great teacher, unfortunately. That makes sense, Tippy. So what is it in you that is being fed through that? Yeah, we have to allow people to do their own work, which can be really tough. It's really hard when you love someone and like you could help them, but we have to let people make their own decisions and they choose their own paths. And there's really nothing that we can do about it. And the most loving thing that we can do is just accept, right? Provide that acceptance for people. Like, to me, that's truly loving someone, right? It's not like, be here and it serves me. It makes me less uncomfortable to feel like I'm helping you. I'm uncomfortable watching you struggle. That's not actually about them. That's about you. Like, I'm trying to reduce my own discomfort because I'm uncomfortable watching you struggle. But that's not truly like loving someone. And that doesn't mean we can't help people, of course, but it really depends on the cheating thing. It depends. And that's the thing, even as it pertains to cheating, you can't control the outcomes. We can't control what other people are going to do. They're going to choose whatever they are going to choose. And honestly, it's not about you. Like if someone cheats on you, that's about them and what they're going through. It's not about you. And it doesn't feel like that. Like it feels personal as fuck. It feels like I wasn't good enough. Like you chose them over me because they were better than me, right? Like we make all these stories in our head, but it's never about that. It's about that person. So that's the thing for me, the way that I operate in connection. I'm very much so like, listen, I'm going to give you your autonomy. If you choose to do a fucked up thing, that's your choice. I know that I can't, like me trying to control that, if anything, is only going to push you more towards doing that. So like, if you choose to be a fucked up person, that's your choice. Like you're going to have to live with the karma of that. You're going to have to live with the consequences of that, one of which will be losing me, of course. But like, the truth is always going to come to light. I'm divinely protected. You're divinely protected. Jazzy, yeah, 100%. No, I was answering the question about cheating. Right? And so for me, like, again, if you want to be doing fucked up, shady things, that's your choice. You clearly have to heal something because they're still looking for validation. They're looking for all these different things in an outside connection that they originally were probably looking for from you and they got from you, but then now it's not enough because they're just feeding an addiction within themselves. So unless the person is doing the work, hi Mama Ashley, unless the person is doing the work to heal, thank you. And even then, trust me, I've been connected to people who were doing the work and kept doing fucked up things. Like actively doing the work and making changes. Hi Blair. Good to see you. You know, so it's like, but someone cheating, it's never, and again, I know it doesn't feel that way because it's activating that big old betrayal wound. But it's about them. It's their own stuff. People doing fucked up things to you isn't about you. It's about them. That doesn't make it feel any better. The experience of it is still terrible. But then, okay, what is it in me that wanted this to be brought up? Because like for me, I didn't know I had a betrayal wound until I like saw this pattern where I'm like, why am I being betrayed by people? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this? Why do people keep doing crazy shit? And so I was like, I realized like, oh no, I have a really deep betrayal wound. That in childhood, for me, when my dad left, I felt betrayed by him. I felt betrayed when he left. I felt betrayed when he wasn't there. I felt betrayed when there were times that I had to deal with like sexual assault and molestation and like, you know, you're supposed to be protected by your father and I wasn't protected. That felt like betrayal. So yes, abandonment wound, but for me, it was betrayal was beneath it. So it was like I had healed the abandonment wound. I'm like, yes, I healed the abandonment wound. Amazing. But beneath that was a betrayal wound that was even deeper. And like, again, it's these shadows, these wounds that are so layered. They're so layered and so deep. It really does take a long time to get through the whole thing, right? Like we heal layers, one layer at a time, and we go layer by layer until we're at the very bottom and then it's done. Yeah. And see, the thing that's interesting that we have to keep in mind is in a child's mind, even a parent dying could feel like betrayal, right? Like it's not logical. It's not like, oh, this makes sense. Point A to point B. Like, no, you're a kid who was having this super emotional experience and didn't have a parent that knew how to help you co-regulate. You didn't have a parent that knew how to emotionally attune to your experience. And so because of that, that's where the insecure attachment comes. That's where the wounds come. Because if we're able to co-regulate with a parent, if we have a parent who knows how to emotionally attune, hi Courtney Rose. If we have a parent who knows how to emotionally attune, then we're able to start naming these feelings. We're able to just have the process of emoting and like maybe crying and screaming. And, you know, like kids throw tantrums. That's how they move the energy and the emotions through their bodies. But most of us were told not to cry. Most of us, it wasn't okay to show emotions. And so, you know, it all gets trapped in our system. Oh, sorry, girl. And the thing that's so interesting with a betrayal wound with a parent, it literally can be as simple as them coming and apologizing. And if any of you are parents here, you know, I say this all the time, but it's like apologizing to your own kids, right? Because we're going to fall short always. We're humans. And it's like the example that I always give is I'm like, listen, if your parent, you as an adult right here, right now, if your parent, your mom, your dad, whomever raised you came to you and was like, hey, I'm really sorry for how I handled things when you were a kid. Like, I did not give you whatever that is, whatever that apology is. I did not give you the support that you needed. Like, I didn't have it together, and I was not the parent that you needed. I was emotionally unstable, whatever that is, right? But like, if your parent were to come to you right now and apologize and say, I'm sorry for how your childhood was, like, think of how much that would mean to you. It's never too late to apologize. It's never too late to say you're sorry. Oh, mine have never apologized. Mine have never apologized. It's beautiful, isn't it, Julia? Or Blair. It's beautiful. Yeah, so I always apologize to my kids. I am not a perfect person by any means. I lose my shit sometimes. But I always apologize. Repair. We have to repair. Yeah, it's never too late. Oh, Courtney Rose. Same. Trauma. CPTSD. Trauma. Thank you. We can cut out toxic people, but at the end of the day, toxicity lives within us as well. Oh, good night, Tippy. Right? Or it's like, we all have toxicity that lives within us. And especially if we were raised in toxic environments, those patterns live inside of us. Not to any fault of our own, right? But it's in our DNA. Thanks, babe. Thanks. I wouldn't say fault, right? It's not our fault that we have these trauma patterns. It's not. It is actually. There's tons of scientific research on this. It's literally in your DNA. Trauma is literally passed down in the DNA. Trauma literally affects how your genes are expressed. It affects your epigenetics. It affects your genes. So it is literally in our DNA. And it's hard work, though, because it's so ingrained and so patterned in us. Kate, is Kate still here? Yeah, and nothing will have you doing it like having some kids. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes, it does. That's wild for you to say that trauma does not affect epigenetics. Literally go do some research. Like, I'm not going to sit here and debate with you. That's wild. That's wild. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if she's still here or not for her reading. Kate, did you get a reading, babe? Kate, did you get a reading, babe? The other Katie, sorry, Katie Lazenby, I think that's her last name. Katie. The other Katie, sorry, Katie Lazenby, I think that's her last name. Katie. The other Katie, sorry, Katie Lazenby, I think that's her last name. Katie. The other Katie, sorry, Katie Lazenby, I think that's her last name. Katie. Katie Crane. Crane. I think on here she's Lazenby though, I want to say. But on Cash App it's Crane. Katie. Kate. You're like, I'm here. No, it's fair. That's fair. It's really fair. I think Katie's gone. We'll just do her reading next time, or I can hop on a call with her too. Okay, beautiful souls. I think it's about time that we wrap this up. Is she here? Oh, there you are. See, there we go. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Lazenby on here. Good night, Alberto. Courtney Rose, 3333. Or if you just have like a quick yes or no, that you need like, 1 to 3. That's 1111. Yeah, I think there's a delay. Katie, what's your question, doll? I had to plug in my phone and turn off the mic because it's dying. Kind of cold. Hi, Brett. Hello. Katie, are you having connection issues? You're so welcome, Jazzy. So honored you were here. Good night, darling. Yeah, we're gonna hop off after this reading. I'm tired tonight. I'm real tired. Do you think it's filtering her? There you are. Ah, Katie! Okay, let's do this. You feel happy about it. Are you happy about it? You feel happy about it? Interesting. All right, I'm gonna... Yeah, I was about to say, like, you feel happy about it. Look, innocence, and it's a little mouse. I'm gonna read this to you on this one because I'm feeling called to. Oh my God, but look. Okay, so innocence in this deck, it's like the Fool card. It's a 0, which is like brand new beginning. Fresh, fertile soil, brand new beginning. I love this for you. Oh my God. Sorry, that was a little intense, but maybe I'm just feeling your excitement, but oh my God. Okay, let's read this card. Innocence, the very first card in this deck. The Mouse and Buttercup. Buttercup. Like the Fool in a tarot deck, the Mouse and Buttercup is numbered 0. It's like I don't need the book. Both cards mark the start of a journey, and both remind us that we have much to learn. Mice are grounded and innocent, yet anyone who has dealt with a mouse in their house knows that they are determined and highly adaptable. The mouse is paired with the humble buttercup, a symbol of childhood innocence. Have you ever held a buttercup under your chin? According to centuries-old children's games, if the reflection of the flower glows yellow on your skin, it reveals that you like butter. Upright, which we did pull this up right. You may be embarking on a journey or starting down a new path. Remember that innocence and a lack of understanding are not negative qualities. Instead, they remind us of our capacity for growth, adaptability, and learning. Here are the questions you can ask yourself. What do I hope to learn on this new path? And what potential dangers should I look out for? Well, there's your answer. That's amazing. I'm telling you, this deck never misses. Ever. Like, this shit hits so hard. This is my newest deck. This one and this one. These are my two newest decks. And like, I shit you not, the way that this deck hits is just, it blows my mind, honestly. It blows my fucking mind. Katie, this is so exciting. I'm so happy for you. If you're here, let's give Katie some congratulations, everyone, please. She's getting promoted at work. That literally answers it. I'm like, I could pull other cards, but that's literally the best answer you could get. Do you want me to pull cards on anything else? Yes, let's all congratulate Katie. Congratulations. Okay, let's see if Spirit has anything else they want to say. This is going to change a lot for you. This is going to shift your energy really drastically, Katie. I can feel it. Okay, it looks like there's something pertaining to a heartbreak that you were hoping to manifest. And it does not feel like that's going to come forward. Okay, Spirit, so, okay. Tell me more about this energy. So it's going to come in its place. Okay, so there's a bit of like a clearing that needs to be done in terms of whatever situation this is. The heartbreak, that it's like you were hoping to come in, or maybe you're hoping for the person to come in to find resolution for it. And it's like, essentially they're just saying, at the very least for right now, like that's not like a thing that's going to happen. And it feels like there's a balance for you that needs to happen within your material and your mental. And so that's why I feel like this journey you're about to embark on with this promotion is going to help you to find a better balance in the mental and the material, bringing like those elements more into balance with one another. So air and earth, which is kind of like an interesting pair. But they really, really, really are giving like deep confirmations of this being a good decision for you. Oh my, this is going to help you break chains and cycles. Literally, the fucking Fool came out. It's like a little too on the nose. And it feels like taking this promotion is just going to set you on a brand new timeline because your energy is going to shift a lot. Your energy is going to shift a lot, and it's going to allow you to break free from some of these past illusions and past parts of yourself that felt like you were really trapped and stuck. By taking the promotion, moving into the new opportunity, it's just opening doors energetically for you, right? You've got Hanged Man in reverse, which is your green light, your go card. So you've also got the Bat and the Hellbone here. Yeah, it's like an entirely new energy for you. Entirely new. It's so cool. I love it. Love it for you. The Bat and the Hellbone, which is intuition. So let's read this one, and then I think we're just going to call it because you got the answer you needed. This is just kind of like a little extra here and there. 19. Went way too far. go. All right. So here's our little bat and the hellbone. Intuition. Bats are guardians of the night, representing dreams, visions, and the subconscious. They show us how to access our mystical side. Hellebore, I totally read that wrong earlier, is an unusual flower, blooming in the winter with downturned sepals. I don't know. It resembles a cup being poured out, a symbol of emotional candor. Together, the bat and the hellebore tell us to trust our intuition. Upright. Your instincts can be relied upon. Curl inward like the hellebore, and as the blind bat trusts its hearing, trust in your intuition to guide you. Let me know if you come to Texas. Well, Texas is huge, so if you're in the Dallas area anyway, or even Austin, I can maybe drive to Austin to see you. How can I learn to trust my gut? Do I need to analyze a problem, or is the answer more immediate and instinctual? Yeah. So it's time to align, right? To align the words, the thoughts and the actions that you're taking, just to bring it all together. Yay! Such good energy for you. And I just want to show you this again. Look at how cute this little mouse is. So cute. Amazing, Katie. Love this for you. All right, y'all. It's about time to call it a night. We didn't have any other readings for tonight, so that is that. I don't think. At least I didn't see any. Did anyone else send a Venmo or Cash App that I missed? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Good night, Jess. Thank you for being here. Thank you for receiving beautiful souls. Yay. Yes, Katie, you've got this. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. You're much more wise than you give yourself credit for. Oh, I love that, Courtney. Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot because I don't like with the YouTube stuff. I'm like, I do not know if it is worth posting any of this stuff on here. So I'm glad that it's okay. It's okay. Listen, I've had people that used to like fall asleep to my light language videos like every night. So that's what I'm here for. See? There you go. Not creepy. It's what it's there for, right? Like we listen to meditation videos, we receive Reiki, we receive light language, like it's all the same thing. I really need to make more like content that's specifically for YouTube. I know you guys ask about things when I'm on here. I don't think of it. I haven't been thinking. I'm not in a groove of making YouTube content yet. It's still kind of new for me. Not like making the content isn't new, just doing it for YouTube specifically. I'm not in a groove. Good night. Good night, good night, good night. Jazzy, thank you for being here. It's great talking to you and meeting you. Thank you, Katie. All right, well, Courtney, send me a link, or not a link, send me like some ideas of videos you'd like to see, because I don't know, YouTube is just another beast for me. I did talk tonight about recording a meditation for doing like the chakra attunement for yourself. Good night, Katie. So I used to have a podcast, which it's still up. I had a podcast and I also did like recorded meditations. So like I don't run an email list anymore, but I used to have an email opt-in where you got 4 of my recorded meditations for free when you opted into the email list. So those are all still on SoundCloud, I think. I think if you go on SoundCloud, you should be able to find them. The podcast is Glow from Within, I don't know what you would have to search. Maybe just my name to find Harmony Patton, probably, to find the other like recorded meditations and stuff. But yeah, those are all free on SoundCloud. So you guys can hear what my voice sounded like. What? Like some of them are like 4 years old. Some of them are 5 years old. Some of them are, yeah, they're about that old. Yeah. And I obviously lead live meditations in a lot of things, but I haven't actually done any recorded meditations in a minute. So, okay. I love you guys. Have such a good night. Do follow me on other platforms. YouTube is Ethereal Harmony 777. My Instagram is Ethereal Beings Wellness. Those are all linked as well on my page. So find me somewhere else too. I'm here live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. doing pretty much what we did tonight. Energy work and then readings. Oh, girl, Courtney. Felt. Luckily, I don't go on either app all that much, but there's been so many times that I love deleting Instagram. I love deleting that app. Like, it always feels great for me to delete it. Facebook, I just never go on there. So it's But Instagram can absolutely mess with my mental health and put me in like old patterns of like comparison. And I feel like it's the energy and even the comment section. Sometimes I'll find videos on there that are the exact same video that's on TikTok, but the comment section is like people on Instagram. It's just, they're a different breed. The energy over there is not cute at all. For me, I feel like TikTok is better. It at least feels more open. YouTube is a whole other beast too. But at the end of the day, as a content creator, you have to grow thick skin and understand that people's judgments of you have nothing to do with you anyway. Like, it's really not personal. Okay. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll see you. I do repost these on YouTube, as Courtney was saying. Yeah, oh my gosh. I love TikTok personally, but I also haven't been posting content really since the ban. Outside of coming live, I've still been coming live every Tuesday. So, all right, guys, I love you. Also, we do have a light language masterclass next Monday on the 24th. It's 11:11 to attend. You can just Venmo or Cash at me. You can shoot me a message if you have any questions about it, but that's going to be next Monday. We had to postpone it because there was a little bit of an emergency. So I love you guys. Good night.